welcome back to Sleeping Cemeteries. Today I'm at Troy Chapel Cemetery in Delaware County, Ohio. Small, quaint little cemetery right beside the Troy Chapel here. Real small, really close to the highway though, so you're going to hear a lot of traffic noise today. But let's get going. I am sorry if that initial beginning intro was a little bit crooked, but right here is Troy Chapel. Just wanted to get a quick shot of that before we do the pan. Let's go up to the front of the chapel and just get a little bit more information, check out when it was established and whatnot. Also want to make note, over here is another building. I don't know if it's from the era of the chapel. It comes across maybe like it could have been a town hall. I'm not 100% sure. I love these little cemetery churches. I'm a huge fan of this old style look. And you know what? If it's unlocked, I'll even take a quick look in the inside. See, look how close we are to the road here. Troy Chapel. Pretty cool. I'm not seeing a date anywhere, so it's really hard to say, but really cool, neat little cemetery. Woo! That's some loud traffic. Alright. I'm gonna head back over here where I started recording and take my first pan. Alright. The cemetery starts right about at this line and it scrolls just over this building, but if you notice right by this tank there's another stone which I'll hit as part of the first, and I hope you can hear me because 23 is right there, and as you can tell it's pretty busy, so I hope it doesn't interfere too much. Let's get exploring. It looks like part of it's been underneath the ground a little bit. Belongs to a Sarah. As far as the remainder, Sarah, Jane, possibly. I'm gonna scoot back just a little bit to hit this one. Got a small little stone here. It looks to be broken. I think this is another Sarah. I think this is definitely another Sarah, but I can't read the rest of it. Judging from the sheep on top here, it's most likely a child though. So let's head over to that propane tank. Alright, the stone over here by the propane tank looks like it might have had a willow tree on top of it at one point. Can't really, I see a G, maybe a Y and an E there. Let me just see here. Angie, or possibly 1865, no, or 1868, one of the two. All right, let's get back up to the main part. As far as the remainder of the cemetery goes, I'm going to try to do it by rows. It looks like I have 1, 2, 3, 4, probably about 6 rows I'm going to try to hit and call it a day. Alright, this first stone here looks like it's for Catherine, daughter of S and A Wise. March 1847. Come over to this stone, take a look. It looks like somebody's wiped on this one a little bit. Judging from that, I would say it's a Valerie A, or a Valeria. I'm gonna hit this little broken stone here. Let me see here, there's a little piece. As you can see, this front is broken, but there is a piece back here. Let me tilt it and see if we can catch a name. I'm not 100% sure. Looks like it ends with an L. Alright, now we're going to go all the way over. There's a stone right there before the church. Alright, here's the stone right before the church. Try to get in there as close as I can. The lighting's a little bit weird. Alright, there we go. Looks pretty good lighting there. Unfortunately, I still can't read it. Cool little stone though. I like the little things here on the side. I'm not sure what they're called, but that's a cool little shape. I've never seen that before. We're going to move up between these, right up beside this tree here, and just try to do rows, working my way back now. On this first little spot here, I'm not 100% sure, but we might have some new residents, or that just could have been, I don't know. There's no stone, no nothing, so who knows. But here, this first stone, check out this awesome, this is a gorgeous stone. For a Hannah H. Robert Brown, his wife, or it looks like it says consort. And here's Mr. Robert Brown beside Hannah. 1852. Now on the other opposite side of this tree here, we do have a broken stone. It's broken a really odd way. You can see part of the letters to the name there. It looks like an H and an N, possibly, maybe John. I don't know. But that's the stone here beside the tree. Moving to my left now for the next row. Alright. Starting off with this next row is this stone. Looks like, from what I can see from the wear, there's probably a rather large weeping willow on top. But this is so worn, I have no idea on who that may have been. I checked the back as well. It's just the classic looking, like the cut. There's nothing there. So we'll move to our right. We have this little tiny marker beside the headstone. Has an H and a B. And then right here is the stone for James Norris? Yeah, Norris. 1849. Wow, these are some pretty early death dates for these older folks. They must have. Still moving to my right, I've got, man, that 23 is really loud, getting closer to it. Clarice E. Baker. 1850. Alright, this is the last stone in this row. Gotta move back to my left for the next one. Alright, this first stone here looks like it's a James David. Another large willow tree on top here. pretty covered in moss. I can't see what that date is either. I think it's 1850-ish. Moving to my left. Oh! This one helped me out a lot. This is Ralph Davenport. That's James Davenport. Alright. This one's a lot cleaner. Probably due to the angle, I'd imagine. This one's a little bit tilted to where stuff can lay on there a little bit easier. Alright. Beside Ralph, we have a little marker here. Broken off. Lorenzo Case. 1843. Anne Jane, Lorenzo's wife. Another Anne Jane, beside Anne Jane, daughter of some people I can't read. And then we've got some stones right here beside this tree. I think this might be a Cynthia. 1842. And then we have another child, it looks like here. There's something on the back here. It looks like, let me just see. Yeah, but it's, I don't want to like scrub at it or anything without proper cleaning solution, if you will. In the front over here, I can't really make out either. I can see it. Might be a Franklin or a Frankie H. And now I'll hit this stone here. It's kind of in line with the last row I was on. Stone here is George N., son of R.M. and L.O. Poole. Alright, moving back to my left to start the next row. Have to see how all this vehicle traffic comes through on this recording. This one's for Elizabeth Darst, 1849. That's a really cool, I mean, look at that. I guess you'd call it calligraphy. 56 years old. That's gorgeous. Check that out. Get a little bit closer here. If we can get that aged. That's wild. That's beautiful. I believe this is the marker for James Davenport. This could also be the marker for his brother, but it's pretty large, so it could be an actual stone. And then right beside that, we have Mr. William Hinton, 1848. Beside William, we have what looks like could have been, yeah, it's a stone of some sort. Let me see if I can brush off a little bit here. I'm not sure how this is laying. I think it lays like this. I think it's on its back right now. And it's Anders. C-A-S-A-N-D-E-R. Yeah. And then beside this tree we have this stone. It's kind of been moved by the tree a little bit. Let's walk around and see if we see any markings on it. It's possible to have had something over it. No. Maybe. Yeah. Up here it's definitely. So this was the visible side, but it's so worn. beside this tree we have another marker. May have fallen forward into there. The ground's so cold and possibly frozen, I'm not going to deal with that right now. Next stone here is for George Poole. Very, got the shells and the weeping willow tree, as a lot of the stones here do. So next, I'm going to move to my right and do the next 2 rows. Alright, here we go. First stone in this row, Caroline. I don't know, just something about how that's worn I find really, really cool. Another broken stone here. I don't know if it's front or back. Okay, this is the front, but still nothing, really. Then we got a larger version of the stone we saw earlier. Looks like it's maybe a Joseph Lynn. Sorry about that, I'm having issues getting this stuff in frame, I don't know why. Weeping willow with that cool little top to it. Never seen that, except for here in this cemetery. Which I'm sure I'll encounter it again, but beside, I believe, Joseph, we've got another Hannah, wife of, it says W, I don't know, W.M. Alright. Now I'm going to come over to this little stone, but after this little stone I'm going to cut back because I want to showcase the last little bit in one go. This one here looks like it just might be a marker with initials. Yeah, the initials on this side is an S and a D at least. S and a D, I believe. Now on to the last row to my right here, over by these trees. First stone up against the tree. I believe it belongs to a William. I'm not going to mess with that too much, but if you can see into there, which I don't think you really can, but you can see the W.I. It's William. Right up against the tree. Moving to our left, we got Joshua. I'm not sure the last name. And beside Joshua, we've got this one here. This is pretty cool. Benjamin Dorward. I think that's a relation. Check out around his name. That little framing work there. That is so cool. And it's got some Roman numerals down here. I think it's just about when it was made. 52 years, 10 months, 19 days. February 1855. Now moving on to the last little bit. There's this nice little fence around it. Let's check this out. Before we get on to the little fenced in area, we've got a couple stones right beside of it. This little one here, the top is broken off and like shoved in the ground in front of it. So I have no idea what's going on there or who it could be. And then we got this one. I've seen a lot of these. Classic little shape. Not exactly sure what I would call that, I guess. I thought I had a name for it, but then I didn't. And then beside of it, we've got this. Now check this out. As the entrance here, and it's just got this wrought iron fence all the way around it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come up to the edge of the fence. I don't want to walk around too much in there. It looks like there's some stones. As you can see, it's pretty old. It's got some cracks up the side, if you can tell. There's dark areas up the sides. Those are actually cracks. And if you can read that, it says, children of John D. and Susanna Wilson. Okay, first one I guess is Wilson. Died April 10th, 1850. Then Sally, October 2nd, 1853. She was 2. Wilson was 2. Then we have a John, August 1854. He was 10 months. I'll come around to this side. Woo. That traffic, man, that's loud. Then on this side we've got John D. and Susan Williams. John was 60. Huh. They didn't give a count out for Susan, but she was in her 70s, it looks like. She died in 1900. Late 70s. Alright, on the back side here we've got a Sarah Stoner. She was 86. And Eliza Stoner. She was 63. And I'll cut around to the back here. Probably opposite side. Last one is for a John Swisher and Josephine Swisher. Wow, that's cool. Let's take another look at this, like here. Get that cemetery in the background. Real close to the road. Wow. I'm sure the road came after the cemetery. Alright, from the edge here of this, I'll do my second pan. Just try to encompass all that. The trees, the other building over there which says it's a town hall, and right to here to this stone. And that was it, folks, for Troy Chapel Cemetery. Small little cemetery here in Delaware County, Ohio. Hope you enjoyed this visit as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.